and today we're reading Big Nate Strikes Again, Chapter 2.
Big Nate Strikes Again by Lincoln Peirce. Chapter 2. You're probably wondering, what's up with Nate drinking all the Gina haterade? Is she really that bad? That would be a yes, the capital Y. It's tough to say what it is about Gina that bugs me the most. There's so much to choose from. But here's a big one. She's always talking about how great she is. Gina says, "I'm so much smarter than you are." I say, "No, you get better grades because all you ever do is study." Gina says, "I've never been sent to detention ever." Translation, "You have no life." Gina says, "I'm Mrs. Godfrey's all-time favorite student." I say, "Because you're a complete suck-up." Frances says that maybe Gina just acts like she's better than everybody else because deep down she doesn't really like herself. He might have a point. If I were Gina, I wouldn't like myself either. But Gina's taking up way too much space in my brain this morning. I really need to start thinking about something else. Quiet, class. I said quiet! Like the fact that class started 5 seconds ago and Mrs. Godfrey's already yelling. And now she's pulling out her blue folder. Oh no. Mrs. Godfrey color codes everything. Her yellow folder is for attendance sheets. The green one is for homework assignments. The red one's filled with in-class worksheets. And the blue one? Special projects. And I don't mean special in a good way. In middle school, special is like a dirty word. Who wants to volunteer for a special job? The last time we did a special project, Mrs. Godfrey only gave me a C+ on my Louisiana report because she said I wrote too much stuff about pelicans. Hello, the pelican happens to be the state bird of Louisiana. That was vital info. And the time before that, she gave me a lousy grade on my replica of the Coliseum because I built it out of Legos. Well, what did she expect me to do? Go to the nearest quarry and dig up some marble? There's no plastic in ancient Rome. I'm going to tell you about a new special project class, Mrs. Godfrey announces. She's smiling, which is never a good sign. Plus, whenever she shows her teeth, it reminds me of a shark attack on Animal Planet. You're going to write a research paper about a great American. Ugh, a research paper. That's a biggie. Those things take weeks to do, and they usually count a ton toward your semester grade. And, she continues, what? There's more? This is not a solo project. You'll team up with other classmates. Yes, finally, some good news. I look over at Teddy and Frances. I can tell we're all thinking the same thing. We jump up from our chairs and head straight for the front of the room. Mrs. Godfrey, can the three of us work together? She looks like she just smelled something foul. I don't think so, she says. First of all, you will be working in pairs, not groups of 3, she says, sounding like she expected us to know that already. And second of all, I'll be matching students randomly. Special project fact. The only time she let the 3 of us work together, we built a model of Mount Vesuvius and accidentally splattered her with fake lava. Whoops. Randomly? Like Nate taking a multiple choice test? She pulls out a cookie jar from her bottom drawer. Not that there are any cookies in it, of course. She probably ate them all. She sure didn't offer us any. On each of these slips of paper, I've written one of your names. I'll select 2 names at a time, Mrs. Godfrey explains. The classmate you're paired with will be your partner for this project. Wow, this is like one of those lottery drawings on TV where a babe picks numbered ping pong balls out of a giant fish tank. Except Mrs. Godfrey's not using ping pong balls, and she's not a babe. That's tonight's lucky numbers. And now here's Wink Summers with the weather forecast. The class starts buzzing. We all understand the stakes. You can end up with someone great, or you could get stuck with a total dud. The best partners are pretty obvious. Frances or Teddy would be fantastic. Getting paired with Jenny would be beyond awesome. And of course, whoever gets paired up with me is hitting a major jackpot. But in every class, there are always a few kids like this. Worst potential project partners. 5. Nick Blonsky. Doesn't get much work done because he's too busy digging for gold. 4. Kim Cressley. Wants to be more than just project partners, if you know what I mean. Let's cuddle. Now! 3. Tabitha Burke. She never says anything, which is sort of freaky. Plus, she blinks about once a day, which totally weirds me out. Hello? Hello? 2. Mark Cheswick. Not exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer, and he smells like socks. I don't get it. 1. Gina Hempel-Toms. Think of the most annoying person you've ever met. Then multiply that by 1,000, no, 1,000,000, no, 1,000,000,000. Can we have extra homework? The suspense is killing everybody. What's the holdup here? Mrs. Godfrey's just standing by her desk, staring at us. Oh, I get it. She's doing that thing teachers always do, when they get all quiet and wait for the class to figure out that it's time to shut up. Finally, she reaches into the jar and picks out the first 2 slips. Kendra, she reads aloud, and Matthew. I shoot a quick look at Kendra and Matthew. They don't exactly look thrilled, but I'm pretty sure they both realize one thing. Could have been worse. Mrs. Godfrey continues. Brian and Kelly, Molly and Allison, Jenny and Arter, Kim and Nick, Cindy and Stephen. Wait, hold it, rewind. Did I hear that right? Jenny and Arter are partners? Great. Those 2 are practically joined at the hip as it is. Now they'll be spending even more time together. This is an outrage. Teddy and Frances. Oh, come on! First Jenny and Arter, and now Teddy and Frances get to work together? Look at them over there. They're acting like they just want a trip to Disney World. Yes. Lucky stiffs. But what about me? I scan the classroom and do some quick calculating. There are only a few names Mrs. Godfrey hasn't chosen. Katie, Chad, Audrey, Mark, Gina. My stomach does a swan dive down to my shoes. Gina hasn't been paired with anybody yet. Oh, please, no. Please, please don't let me get stuck with Gina. Anyone but her. Mrs. Godfrey reaches into the jar again. Nate and... Not Gina. Gina, not Gina, not Gina, not Gina, not Gina, not Gina. Megan. Phew-wee. What a relief. I'm fine with being Megan's partner. More than fine. Megan's pretty cool. She's nice. She's smart. She's not here. Megan? Anybody seen Megan? Oh, wait, says Mrs. Godfrey. I just remembered Megan's having her tonsils removed this week. She'll be absent for a while. That means you'll need a different partner. Dun, dun, dun. But I don't mind waiting until Megan gets back, I stammer. I'll just... Quiet, Nate, Mrs. Godfrey barks. Before I can get another word out, she's got her hand back in the cookie jar. You'll be working with Gina. No, no, no! Is there a problem, you two? Mrs. Godfrey asks in a tone that makes it clear there'd better not be. No, Mrs. Godfrey, not at all. Typical Gina. She says exactly what the teacher wants to hear. But I can't pretend everything's fine and dandy when it isn't. Mrs. Godfrey's eyes look like they're about to burn a hole in my head. But she asks if there's a problem, and I'm going to give her an answer. The problem is, we don't want to work on the project together. Really? She answers, sounding surprised. Well, I can't imagine why. I think the two of you will make a wonderful team. A few kids snicker. Mrs. Godfrey turns and starts writing on the blackboard. That's her way of telling me this conversation is over, and there's no way out. I'm officially partners with Gina. Isn't that special?